Hello there, welcome to Manifest Without Money. What are you expecting today? Because whatever you expect, that's exactly what you're going to receive. I want to share with you how I have come to understand the process of creation and manifestation. I was not taught by a human being. In fact, I did not know about Neville Goddard. I did not know anyone until this was revealed within me. Many years ago, I was sitting in the living room and I was taking an inventory to my life. I had a custom made home, made home, a husband, a job, my children around, and from the outside you would have thought that everything was good. As you probably look on Instagram right now, on Facebook, and you see all these people smiling and being happy and posting pictures everywhere, and your assumption is that, well, look, they have it made. I was that kind of a person. You would say that I had it made, but internally I was crumbling to the point where I had what you might call maybe a breakdown. And I sat in the living room where everybody was gone, and I said out loud, I said, who am I? Why am I here in this world? What is the meaning of life? Why is life so difficult? And I was crying. And I was crying from the depth, from the bottom of my soul. There was this cry out. It was a cry out. And I got quiet. Because when you cry, you release energy. And I got quiet and I got calm. In that calm state, I heard a voice from within. I spoke. It was my own voice. But it seemed as if it was separate from me, because in the way it was asked, will you allow me to do what I want to do with your life? Now that I'm thinking about it, I get shivers down my body. I just feel vibration. I just feel these thoughts. And I remember saying, who is talking to me? What's going on? Where's that voice coming from? But I knew something of the sort, because when I was younger, I remember during one night, I heard my name called out about 2 or 3 times, Luminita, and I woke up and I couldn't see it, Luminita, and there was nobody. And so I knew that I knew of God, and I said, okay, well, it must be God, right? The universe, this inner being, this higher being inside of me was calling out to me. And this time, it wasn't to bring attention to me, but it was to say, will you allow me to show you who you are? Will you allow me to do what I want to do with your life? And I had an option. I could have gone the same way as I did before, and I knew I was going to end up who knows where. And I said yes. Internally, I remember saying yes, like, show me, there is no other way. For me, I've done what I've done, but listen, I need answers. Like, whoever you are, right? I need to be guided, because I don't want to go back to the same old way. And I don't know where I'm going to go towards if I continue in the same way. What I did not know at the time is that my subconscious mind was speaking to me from the depths of my soul, of my being, of my subconscious mind, of God and the universe and the higher being, who was telling me, it's about time you ask the questions. And I responded. Because you asked the questions, I responded. And I responded back with a question, and I had to agree. You see, my coach and mentor, Bob Proctor, he was having success, he lost success, and he began to, he became aware of his coach and mentor, Earl Nightingale, and he went into the same position. How come I achieved success and I lost it? So he was on this roller coaster. And he submitted under mentorship and coaching to understand himself. He had to say yes. He had to say yes to Earl Nightingale that said, listen, are you going to go about it the old way, the way you've been going at it? Or are you going to listen? Are you going to do everything I ask you to do? And Bob Proctor said, well, I'm going to do exactly what you tell me to do. So in the same way, I did not have a human being on the outside to teach me, to tell me about this creation manifestation process. I was not taught by a human hand, you might say. I was taught about the process of creation manifestation from the higher self, from my inner being, from God, from the universe. So when I share with you my personal manifestation stories, it's because this was I was not taught by the human hand. However, confirmation from the outside came in, because that's when I came across Neville Goddard. That's when I came across Bob Proctor. That's when I came across other teachers, and they were confirming that which was within. Meaning, even though I did not understand what was happening within me and how I was creating and manifesting, they brought me the understanding. And so they were part of me and I was part of them. I was calling them in. You see, when the student is ready, the teacher shows up, and I was ready. And so this higher version of me was saying, okay, you said yes, get ready. Well, I went through the darkest night of my soul. And when I went through the darkest night of my soul, I've gotten to the place where physically I couldn't move in my kitchen. Like my nervous system was locked, and I couldn't walk and I couldn't speak. I couldn't call out to anybody in the house to tell them I can't move. But it was in that moment that I began to see images in the mind as I was speaking. So my mind, body, and soul, or my spirit, intellect, and body, were separated into three. And I could begin distinctively to see what was happening in my imagination, what was happening in my thoughts, what I was seeing, and what was the body doing. What was happening to the body when I kept saying, I can't? What was happening to the body when I said I can, but I couldn't see the image? Meaning I was not integrated, I was not one. And that's why many people are living a divided life, or a life that they don't want, with the desire still inside of them, because they don't know who they are, how they operate, how you are supposed to be one or integrated between spirit, intellect, and body. That's the operant power. Okay, life is in the tongue, which is the part of the physical, but the body is the subconscious mind, and it starts from spirit, intellect, and then comes into the physical, 2, 3, and 4. And so you are part of your creation process. You're part of your manifestation all the way. It's not done without you or outside of you. It's all done inside. And the reason I'm bringing this up to you is to share with you that what I have learned has not been taught to me by the human hand, but they came into my life. The teachers came into my life because I was hungry, because I was like a sponge, and I needed to know and I needed to hear. I needed someone to take me from the place that I was in. That moment actually took me into deeper darkness. Okay, from that place where I couldn't walk, it got darker and darker and darker and darker. I had to die to religion. I had to die to man-made rules and regulations. In fact, I walked away from religion and I began to study. The way I got myself out of this hole, out of this graveyard, out of hell, you might say, was that I was desperate. Nobody outside of me could help me. It didn't matter how much they said to me, oh, it's going to get better, or you're going to feel better, you're going to be able to sleep at night. I couldn't. I was in torment, as you might say. I needed a fresh of air. I needed someone to take the water and touch my lips because they were burning. I was in fire. I was on fire. I needed someone to save me from the place, but I did not know it was me. I had to do the saving. I took myself to hell, because I had to die to my old mentality, to my negativity. You see, what brought me there was because I assumed negative of people. I assumed negative of everyone. I never felt love, and I was doing a lot of work in the physical. And I thought that's love. If I do this for my kids, for my husband, for my coworker, for my house, I thought that was love. I had no love. I was doing the doing, but I wasn't becoming. I was a no one. And so one of my clients yesterday on Instagram said, I am going to share this with you. And she posted a short video of her. She said, I'm tired of being a mother. I don't know where to go from here. I did not want to post this on Instagram. And she had more than 1,000 likes. There's so many people that are searching, that are reaching, that are hungry for this knowing of who they are. Who am I? Why am I here? And why is life so difficult? These are the 3 most important questions anybody should ask themselves. You see, what I have done, when I asked myself, who am I immediately, after I said yes, I felt the impulse. Under the compulsion, I rose and I went on my computer and I pressed, who am I? And my first mentor was Dr. Miles Monroe. He introduced me to the concept of the kingdom. the principles and laws of life, but I couldn't put them together because I felt as if there was still a flavor of religion in there. It was not enough understanding as to the 6 tools of mind, the laws of life. How do we use imagination? That was not there. It was enough to satisfy me for the moment, but I needed more. And so that is when I discovered Neville Goddard, Wayne Dwyer, and so many, Joseph Murphy, Jim Rohn, and ultimately by Proctor, and he's the last coach and mentor. So I have grown out of that place. I pulled myself out of that grave. As Lisa Nichols says, you're your own savior. Take a piece of paper and write every negative belief you have, and underneath it, write it in the positive, and say that over and over again, and then cross that negative sentence out, that black, cross it out, dissolve it, and replace it with the positive. You are your own savior. And so I had to look at myself and realize I have always been a negative person. I have always worried. When my brothers and sisters would go to grandma's house and, they have wells of water, I would go to bed in the city worrying that my brothers would go by the well and fall in the well, and what if nobody can see them? I was creating the worst case scenarios. That never came to reality. It affected me. I fell into the well. I fell into my pit because nobody knew what I was doing in the mind. Nobody could stop me from my negative thinking because inside and outside I was surrounded by negativity. Why? I grew up in a communist country and we didn't have enough water. The lights were going off. We didn't have enough food. And so in and out, I was contaminated by negativity, by lack. I felt as if there is no way out. And so when I moved to US, I thought, well, this is the land of the free. But in my heart, in my mind, I was not free. In fact, I could see myself struggling, working hard, and then I would see people, for example, even in the churches that would have a lot. And I'm not putting the church down. What I'm saying is that certain people in the church, they know how to live their life. You see, they are what you might call ignorant competent, because ignorantly, they are competent, they are activating the law of creation and the law of attraction. But if you ask them how they do it, they will not be able to tell it to you, which means if they lose their riches and wealth, they don't know how to get them back. But see, for me, when I pulled away from that and I saw the difference in the church, people having and people not having, it hurt me. It hurt me because I felt with the people. I was one of them, and I wanted to be one of the ones that were happy. And I did not know why the church could not bring the two people together. Why is it that in the same church that people hear the same thing, but there's two different lifestyles? Two different people, and I could not put that together. But then I understood later it has to do with how you hear, how hungry you are. And when I realized it's not enough what I hear, everything is still in parables, I needed physical, I needed experience. It was not enough to hear. It's not enough for you to hear what you hear in my video. You need to experience this for yourself. And so when I created the program Manifest Without Money, it's because I have taken what I have been taught, personal manifestation stories that I break them down like a Rubik's Cube, because I want to give to you. You see, you are the person that I once was. I'm not too far ahead from you, but I have learned through the hand of God, through the inner being inside of me said it's time for me to come to the surface. That negative self of you needs to be gone. Has it completely been gone? No, I have not overcome the world. That means I have not overcome these physical eyes. I'm still tempted. I have not overcome my hearing, meaning I continue to hear things I don't want to hear. I continue seeing things I don't want to see. But I understand now. I have the keys in my hand, and now I know, wait, I don't want to go back to that old person. Dissolve that negative mentality. Dissolve that negative belief. Everything has already been created. Now I have another understanding. I have another perception of life. But it was a struggle. It was years and years and years and years for me to be here in this position. And not only I have grown in this position of authority to teach the law of creation and manifestation, because it wasn't taught to me by the human hand, but I also have grown in my profession, because I have gone from cleaning the toilets for the wealthy, wanting to be like them, not knowing how, envying them, being jealous, suffering at my own thoughts. Then I have worked in a dental office, and that was okay. It seemed okay. Then I worked very close to an interior designer And again, surrounded by multimillionaires, seeing how the houses or apartments were designed and their money and their lavish lifestyle. And again, I was put face to face to see I don't have and they have, and how is that happening? So I was always struggling. You always have the good and the bad in front of you, but it's your choice and how you think and how you report yourself to it. And from there, I entered into the financial industry, became an executive assistant for a period of time. And once again, here I am with multimillionaires. Then I manifested a multimillionaire. And this was before I entered into the financial industry. And so I understand that now my road was paved for me. I was going to go towards something. And even now, I don't exactly have a clear definition of my future as to where exactly I am going to be, because it's scary to see the progression, to see the power and authority that I have within. It says that I can accomplish anything and I can do anything. But you know that little voice that comes in and says, now hold on a second, hold your horses, right? So I am here because of me. I have suffered because of me. I'm successful because of me, because of my way of thinking. My thinking attracts the circumstances. And I used to blame people and circumstance and everyone outside of me. And now if I blame them for my problem, now I assume that I am the one that is bringing the good out. You see, if you're the one that says other people are the problem, but you're the problem, how can I assume responsibility that other people have given me the good that I want? No, I have given it to me. And I want to finish with this. We have been taught how to give, but not how to receive. What you put out comes back. So what you're given, you're actually receiving. And that's what I'm saying by I have given it to me, where I have created everything. I assume responsibility for my abundance. I assume responsibility because if I have the ability to think positive, I have the ability to attract the positive. So there is no one outside of you. There is no one that can create outside of you. But everyone outside of you is waiting for you to give them the command. All right? It's waiting for you to satisfy your desire until everyone begins to wake up and realizes, wait a minute, I assume responsibility for the bad. Now I assume responsibility for the good. And they become into their awareness and power and authority over their own life and how life is created. You see, we're not taking anything from anyone. As a coach and mentor now, as a business consultant and as a high performance mentor, I understand that in my business, through my program, I'm not taking away from you. You see, I'm giving to you more than you can ever pay me back. But that is why the more people I reach, the more I attract abundance. And so when people or I ask you to share the video, it's because there is more people that need to be coming to this awareness and authority. I'm not asking you to do me a favor. I'm asking you, as your understanding and awareness is growing, and you begin to build trust in me, you say, you know what, this sounds just right. It hits me right here. All right, this person is honest. This person is sincere. She's not passing down information. She's lived through this for years and years and years. I have been refined in the fire. I have gone through the fire. I have gone through hell. I have been refined and I'm not finished yet. I'm not finished yet because I still have imperfections, because I have big dreams, but my negative beliefs, that imperfection is still there and it needs to be shed away. Okay? So when I ask for you to share the video, and I just feel vibration going through me right now. When I ask you to share the video, what I'm saying is give to others what has been given to you. Okay? Give to others what has been given to you. This knowledge and understanding, it has to be given. It has to be passed down. Why? Because that's energy. Energy is not supposed to be stuck. You're supposed to let go. You receive an abundance, you let go in abundance. You give with a free hand. Okay? You must give with a free hand. Don't stop the well. Don't stop your abundance. Don't stop your health. Don't stop your health, your abundance, your wealth. Don't stop your influence. Don't stop your significance. Don't stop your authority. Don't stop your power. Let it run through you. And as it runs through you, it's going to bless you. Because as you understand and you put it in application, it's working for you. All right? So don't listen to my videos without putting into application everything that I suggest. And I kindly suggest it. And yes, you're going to hear me asking you to come into my program because as you can hear and feel, I assume you feel how sincere and honest I am. I want you to be where I am, in that power and authority. That's where I want to take you. The power and authority over you, over life, over circumstances. It's all about you. Who are you? Why are you here? And what is your life all about? Ask yourself those questions. So I'm going to leave you with those questions, and I want you to ask yourself those questions. It's not about manifesting an SP alone. It's not about manifesting a cup of coffee. You want to be someone significant. You want to leave a legacy behind. If you're listening to this video, ask yourself, what is the purpose for your existence? If you feel drawn to this information, to this knowledge and understanding, you might have a call on your life to really apply this in your life and come out being a teacher, a business consultant, a high performance mentor. If you're attracted to people such as Tony Robbins and Bob Proctor and Oprah, Jim Rohn and Neville, Wayne Dwyer, there's something on your heart that's calling you. You're seeking this understanding, not just because you want to manifest your SP, but if that's all you want, that's all you're going to get. I want you to think bigger. I want you to imagine bigger. Why? Because whatever you imagine, God imagines it through you. This was revealed to me this morning in a powerful way. It's God imagining through you. It's your inner being imagining through you, but you must enter into that authority. You must grow into that authority, meaning an awareness and understanding. How exactly does that work? And I know you're trying to grab onto a little bit of understanding here, a little bit there, but that's what I bring in the program. I bring you into that full understanding. I break down every week a manifestation story, and I break it down like a Rubik cube, and then I put it together. I break you apart. Through my manifestation story, apologies for my abdomen, my belly, through my manifestation stories, I break it down. Your mind begins to break down. And when I put it back together for you, your mind begins to be put back together, but you're putting back together your circumstance. You see, as I uncover and unravel my manifestation story, you think of your problem and you unravel it. And then as I put mine together, how I created, you can put yours together and you create and manifest. That's the purpose of the program. That's the purpose of being consistent in a community that is working towards knowing thyself. The power, the authority. So it's not a simple thing as, well, I am going to do this and this and this and get that. Imagine having the power and authority as your word, everything begins to happen. And you don't have to affirm every day and night, because that, to me, it's work. Imagine just saying the word and the next day it's done. That's what you want. That's where you want to be. That's what you're seeking. That's what you're longing for. That power and authority to say, I have overcome the world. I have overcome every opinion, every objection, every block. It has been overcome. But it's okay. Start where you're at, with a cup of coffee, with an SP, having a job, $1,000 here, $2,000 there. You walk up on the ladder of faith and belief. From belief to belief to belief to belief. From manifestation to manifestation to manifestation to manifestation. And then when you have enough in you, and you feel like this is your calling and your purpose, then you are going to become a teacher yourself. So I was not called out to be a teacher because I chose this. It chose me. It chose me. When I was a little girl, I knew I wanted to be a teacher. So your purpose is discovered since you are a little person, okay? I did not know at the time who, when, what, and where, but now I know. Now my eyes have been opened to why I have gone through what I have gone through, to the choices that I have made, why I was thinking negative, why was there nobody to help me. It's until I had to have the hunger to be a new me. To go from the negative, to go from the old and enter into the new. To go from Egypt and go into Canaan. As a spiritual scientist, you're going to hear me talk about religion. And it's not religion because I left that behind, but it's about theology and spirituality. And a spiritual scientist always asks questions. Wait a minute. What did you say? How did that happen? Hold on a second. Let me put that tape again. Let me listen again and again and again and again. That's the affirmation. That's what you need to seek. Not to continue to affirm over and over again, because all you need is just to affirm something and see the picture. But you're seeking the understanding and belief. Is that enough? Is that enough? Is that all I need? That's what you're looking for. But you can't look for it out there. You've got to experience this. And the reason you keep listening to something over and over and over again, because you're trying to connect the dots and say, wait, if this person said this and she said that and she put that story like this and that story went like that. Oh, I connect the dots. I got it, right? You're seeking understanding. In my program, I bring you understanding, but I also bring it to you through these videos. So you can either be into a program that it's built pillar by pillar and brick by brick, or you can build yourself up and to capture and gather that understanding from watching me, watching another person and another person. And all of a sudden, it might take a little bit longer, but you're going to get it. But you still need community. You still need those people that you grow with, right? And you know that. You want to be successful? Surround yourself with successful people. You want to become an amazing manifestor? Surround yourself with people that are in that group of manifesting. So whatever you want to be, get in there with those people, okay? So whatever your heart leads you, just go with it. Just go with it, okay? That's your higher being. It's calling you in that direction. So long video once again, but thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you with much gratitude. This is Luminita. Bye now.